Welcome to Necromunda. Deep in the Underhive, an ancient Archeotek device was uncovered. The Adeptus Mechanicus has sent an explorator agent to gather intel about this mythical device. On the other hand, Underhive gangs are willing to kill in order to get control over this artifact. So what will happen when those two forces collide in the shadow of this primordial machinery? We will see.
First, I'm going to introduce you to the two gangs, to all the fighters that are going to participate in this battle. And first off, we have Copper. He is the road captain, so the leader of the Orlocks. He is armed with a stop gun, a plasma pistol and a servo claw. And for a skill he has Bring It On, so he can challenge enemy fighters. And he has a legendary name, One Shot, so he will be able to aim very well for once in this battle. He is armored with a mesh armor. Second in command to Copper is Angry Snarl. He is a arms master, so a champion type, armed with an arc hammer and smoke grenades. He is armored with mesh armor. He has his trusty Dogo Brutus with him, and his skill is Berserker, and he also has a legendary name, Iron Stare. Also a champion but a road sergeant is Frank the Gunner. He is armed with a stub gun and a heavy stubber, and that heavy stubber is especially dangerous because he is also equipped with suspensors. His skill is Fearsome and his legendary name is Blade Breaker, and also mesh armor. As the only girl in the gang, Nina Narco, representing the Wreckers, with her stub gun and demolition charge, armored with flak armor and equipped with the jump booster only the Wreckers have. John Nighthawk as the first ganger, armed with a fighting knife, a combat shotgun, and armored with mesh armor. Also with a combat shotgun and a fighting knife, armored with mesh armor, we have Red. Third gunner, this time with a fighting knife and a auto gun, we have Rod Roundhouse. The last of the gunners is Slack the Orefinder, armed with a stub gun, auto pistol and armored with mesh armor. And most important for this scenario, which is obviously heavily narratively inspired scenario, is the Explorator Agent. He is armed with a power axe. He has as armor, he has a refractor field. He is to be escorted to the Archeotek Device. So here we have the whole Orlock gang named Iron Will already deployed. Their gang rating is 1495 credits and consists of 10 models, including the dog and the Explorator Agent, of course. They have 2 gang tactics cards. First, Quick Trick and Wall of Iron. On the other side of the map there will be a Escher gang deploying called the Hunting Hydras, and this one is Brielle. She's the Escher Queen, so the leader of the girl gang. She is armed with a shock whip, combi weapon of bolt gun and needler, armored with mesh armor and also equipped with a toxic ammo exploding, and her skill is Dodge. The first of the 2 matriarchs of the gang is Tori Jr. She is a champion armed with a plasma pistol and a chainsword and armored with mesh armor. She is the crazy fast lady because she has the skill Sprint and is equipped with the Stim Hyper, so she will be extremely fast. The second of the matriarchs is Luciriel, and she is armed with a power sword and a las pistol and frag grenades. She is armored with mesh armor, has the stim blood rush equipped and the skill parry. Next we have two specialist sisters coming up. This one is with venom. She is armed with a fighting knife and a nightshade chem thrower and armored with mesh armor. And this girl is Suki, the second specialist sister, armed with a plasma gun and choke grenades and armored with mesh armor. And then we're coming to the regular sisters. This one is Mirex with her stiletto knife and a las gun and mesh armor. Second sister is Millie. She is armed with a las gun and also choke grenades, armored with mesh armor. And last of the sisters is Leona. She is armed with las pistol and needle pistol and armored with mesh armor. These are the hunting hydras deployed on the left side of the battlefield. Their gang rating is 1420 credits. They consist of 8 models since they don't have pets or someone to protect. And they also have 2 gang tactics cards. One is Hit and Run and the other one is Predator Peer. The winning condition for the Escher gang, the hunting hydras, is simply to kill the explorator agent. Narratively, that would mean that the Adeptus Mechanicus will never know about this Archeotek device, so the hunting hydras could claim this piece of Archeotek. To win the game, the Iron Will gang has to escort this guy, explorator agent of the Adeptus Mechanicus, into the center of the battlefield. He has to reach within 1 inch of these terminals, actually one of these terminals, and if he manages to get a double action done. Double action is investigate the Archeotek device. Then the Orlock gang will win. Lore-wise, the explorator agent will find out that the Archeotek device is very valuable. They will exfiltrate and the Adeptus Mechanicus will come in and seize the Archeotek device. Of course, should any of the gangs have no more people standing, then the game ends and the wiped out team loses, of course. In the first order of business, we are going to determine the priority. So first roll of the game, is it priority for the Escher with a 5, or do the Orlocks have priority? And it actually seems like the Orlocks have priority. We are in turn 1 and we will start with the Orlocks. The game starts with a simple repositioning and the Arms Master Angry Snarl will start, and he does 2 moves, and he is of course taking Brutus with him, and also in this group activation Red is coming along, so they move 10 inches into battlefield. On the Escher side, Lucirael and Leona also double move. And gain vision of the Archeotek device. Second for the Orlocks is Nina Narco. She does a single move of 6 inches, and then she wants to activate her jump booster, and we will roll to see if the jump boost works. It does work. Sorry, I forgot to say, she jump boosts in unsafe mode, so she actually can add another 6 inches to her already 6-inch move, and she will actually move over here. So Nina will try to flank and do some hurting with her demolition charge. Back to the Escher with Brielle and Millie, both, or not both, all three of them move 10 inches, so a double move to cover some ground into the middle of the battlefield. They will try to break into the middle and disturb the Orlocks. On the Orlock side, Copper moves a double move 10 inches, takes with him the Explorator Agent, also moves 10 inches, a double move, and also John Nighthawk. All three move 10 inches into the center of the battlefield where the Explorator Agent is needed. On the Escher side of things, Suki is simply following up with her queen to storm the center of the battlefield. Back to the Orlocks. Frank, the gunner, tries to get some high ground, and Rod is coming with him. The only other guy with decent range with his autogun. A lot of the other people have very short-ranged weapons. Now we're getting to the interesting part. Brielle Jr. has her hyperstim activated. That means she gets +2 to her movement characteristics, and she has the skill sprint. So if she moves twice in her activation, on the second move she can double her movement characteristics. That actually extends to 21 inches of movement in her activation with double move. So she does that, sprints right over to here, and the ganger at her side, forgot her name, is hardly keeping up, can only move half as far. All the Eschers have activated, and the last of the Orlocks just moves along and will follow his leader into the center of the battlefield. So that was it for turn 1. We will check priority for turn 2. First rolling for the Escher. 3, and let's see what the Orlock roll, a 6, so Orlock have priority in the second turn as well. Start of turn 2 starts again with Angry Snarl. He is angry and awaiting violence, so he chooses to move 10 inches. Taking his dog with him. And Red also follows, since he is not anticipating to be in range anytime soon. Wait, that was a mistake. Maybe he would be in range. That may have been a tactical error on the Orlock side, but moved is moved. So these 3 guys are done. Brielle and her 2 surrounding girls are not seeing any enemies, so they will move on. Millie starts by double moving up to this ladder. Brielle approaches the center of the battlefield, nearly at the Archeotek Device. looming in its shadows, and Suki follows her, posing threats to approaching enemies. It's Nina Narco's turn, and with her first move, she moves up to this crate and she attempts to activate her jump pack in unsafe mode, because if she rolls a 6, she will be able to climb all the way on top of this structure. Let's see what Nina rolls for her jump booster. It's only a 3. 3 means she can add another 5 inches. That's 1 inch short of what she was needing. So she will actually stop her movement midway. Up here, she is on the back of the Archeotek Device, waiting for a good opportunity to lob a demolition charge into the enemy. Next up with Venom, we'll also add another 10 inches and actually kind of reaches the shadows of the Archeotek Device and waits for a good opportunity. Frank and Rod, on their quest to seek higher ground, move 10 inches up the stairs and are actually able to reach a prime location to maybe shoot some Escher girls in the next turn. Obviously target themselves now, but we will see who gets priority in the next turn. Mirex just realized that she is not that far away from Angry Snarl and his squad. So she decides to move 5 inches out to the edge of the battlefield just to not threaten her own matriarch when she shoots. And then she decides to take a shot at Angry Snarl there. With her last gun, she is actually in long range. So let's see if the first shot of the game will actually do something. Here we see shot. Okay. Mirex has a 4+ on hitting the target, no modifiers. She fails the shot, and so we don't even have to roll anything more. She just misses her first shot of the game and ends her activation. Next up, Copper, Slag and John Nighthawk, all relatively close combat weapons, so no chance on shooting anything this round. They just move to the center of the battlefield and just all the guys follow their leader, and I have to take care that I don't hit anything. Over. So new position, nearing the Archeotek Device, may be able to shoot at anybody, as at somebody next turn. We see another sprinting action of drug-fueled Tori Jr. She has another 21 inches at her disposal, and she actually chooses another route than maybe expected from the Orlocks. She just reaches the other side of that catwalk there. That drug-fueled rage, bringing her in the center of all the danger. Maybe to good ends, but maybe to terrible ends for her. We will see what happens next round. The VIP of the game, following the lead into cover, nearing the Archeotek Device, already wondering what marvels there would lie. Last Eschers moving are Lucirel and Leona. They are at the back of the battlefield. They know that Nina is posing some sort of threat, and they will advance towards her on the back of the Archeotek Device. Maybe able to flank some Orlocks or catch Nina that is trying to flank the Eschers themselves, so counter flanking you could call it. That's the overview after turn number 2. Still not a lot of fighting, just one single shot in this game yet, and it terribly missed, so no harm done yet, but we are in some positions to pose some serious threats in the next round. So the prize question is, in turn number 3, which gang will manage to get priority? Rolling Escher first, A3, and then rolling for the Orlocks, A6 again. I think these casino dice are rigged. Orlocks have priority again. So at the beginning of turn 3 we have some interesting situations. First of all, right, this one. Will the matriarch be able to disrupt these guys from shooting, or will she be shot dead? Or even from this side. Here in the middle things are starting to get tense. Forces approaching from both sides. We have Sneaky Nina in the back there, trying to flank the Escher. The Eschers trying to avoid that. So, what will happen this turn? We will start with these two guys here. Actually, Rod Roundhouse, the gunner, starts, and he is trying to shoot the Escher matriarch that is lurking above. And I would argue that he sees more than half of her model, so she is in light cover. But he is in short range and he will just aim and shoot. So in the end he gets +1 to shooting because short range and aiming. So fetch our dice and take a look what happens. He has a 4+ ballistic skill, and because he is in short range and is aiming, he actually hits on 3+ with rapid fire 1. And A6 again, just one hit though. Let's see if he is able to wound her. The autogun has a strength of 3. The Escher Ganger also has a toughness of 3, so he is wounding on 4+, which he does not manage. So she is not wounded, but she is actually hit. And Miss Tori Jr. likes to step on edges that are very steep, and first of all she is pinned. She was shot at, so she was pinned, and she is definitely nearer than half an inch to a ledge. So Miss Tori Jr. will take a initiative check to see if she will fall. Since she's a matriarch, she actually has really good initiative of 2+, and she manages to stay up above. So Miss Tori Jr. is actually safe up here. She didn't get wounded, she just got pinned, which is actually maybe very good for her, so other people are not able to shoot at her. That leads us to Frank the Gunner. He sees the 3 Escher girls sitting there waiting for their chance. He will try to shoot with venom with her night shade thrower, I don't know what it is called, because she's the one with the least cover. Because he has suspensors on his heavy stubber, he is actually able to aim first and negate her light cover that she has got, and that means he will shoot at her with his heavy stubber and rapid fire 2 actually, with a 3+, sorry for that. So Frank actually rolled a ammo symbol, so he has to check if his heavy stubber is still loaded with ammo. It's a 4+, so a 5 is perfectly fine. He is still bearing ammo in his heavy stubber. So these 2 guys are done. No real harm done. Missed or failed to wound, so the Eschers are fine for now. On the Escher side, Mirex is trying her luck again to shoot at Angry Snarl's squad. So he tries to shoot, but actually, and I think in the last shot I forgot that, he has the iron stare. That means before she is able to shoot, she has to pass a cool test. So a cool check 7+ is needed to even be able to shoot at Angry Snarl. 7+ is 2 dice. She fails. He stares her down and she is not able to shoot. She actually, I forgot to say that, she was aiming first, aimed and then tried to shoot, but looked him straight in the eye and decided way too dangerous. That leads us to these guys. They will try to retaliate that not even taken shot. So first to go is Red, and he will move 5 inches and check if he is in range. Sorry for that, of course he does not check range first because pre-measuring is not allowed in Necromunda, but I just checked his range. He has 12 inches of range with his combat shotgun, and since inches are not my native measurement tools, I actually am not quite sure if that is enough. Red thinks he is in range for his combat shotgun and checks the range of 12 inches and is actually short. So he takes his shot, but it goes out into the blue, into nowhere. Angry Snarl, of course, does not shoot because he wants to smash heads with his arc hammer and moves up to 10 inches and his trusty doggo Brutus comes with him. This Venom has a very short activation because she decides she wants to ambush anybody that decides to go near the Archeotek Device. Of course, there are guys that want to go near there, so she is ready to spin around the corner and throw Venom at everybody that is not Escher. We are still in turn 3, and Nina Narco is actually trying to activate her jump booster in unsafe mode. Oh, that's a 1, so her jump booster fails to do anything. Nina Narco climbs this ladder in her first action and tries to activate her jump booster to leap over there. She takes a leap of faith, or tries to take a leap of faith. Unfortunately, she rolled a 1, so the jump booster, since it is in unstable mode or unsafe mode, refuses to work, and she can't move a second time at all, so her activation already ends again. Tori Jr. gets up. If she could, she would probably try to charge someone, but since that needs a double action, she is only able to move, and moves up here. Maybe posing a threat to the elimination target, maybe suicidal. That's yet to be seen. It's Copper's turn. He would have liked some grenades at his disposal, because that is actually not that of a nice situation. Even though he's a leader, she is just a mere sister. He does not make a group activation, since at this stage of the game it's probably very important who does what in which order. It's Luciriel's turn, and Leona will also activate, but first Luciriel, she realized the threat from above, and she decides to move 5 inches with her first action, and with her second action she actually lobs a grenade up here. She would see Nina, but just barely. She would be in full cover, so instead of trying to shoot at her, she just lobs a grenade up there. So a frag grenade is being thrown right here at this corner of the ledge, of the, how is it called? Anyway, she barely makes it. Strength 3 by 3 times is just right here, and now let's see if that actually works. Okay, Luciriel has a ballistic skill of 3+, so we will try to hit that. She hits that. Because it's a grenade, we will also check if she has some more grenades. 4+, and she is not out of grenades. She can still throw even more grenades. What we also have to check is, does this grenade wound Nina? So strength 3 of the grenade and toughness 3 of the Orlock wrecker is a 4+. We're looking for a 4+, 6 again, so this wounds actually. So we have an explosion of this frag grenade right here. This means different things. First of all, the grenade has a knockback of 1 inch. That means the Orlock wrecker takes a plunge into the depth. That's a fall of just over 8 inches. So she actually will be hurt badly. Nina can try to tank the explosion of the grenade with her flak. Armor needs a 6, which she doesn't make, so she takes at least 1 damage from the grenade. But she also fell 8 inches, a little over 8 inches. That means she takes a strength 7 damage, strength 7 hit, armor piercing -2, damage 2. So we will take a look what that means for her. Strength 7 against toughness 3. That means on a 2+, that whole thing will hurt her badly. It will hurt her badly. Armor piercing -2 means she cannot even try to deflect the damage with her armor, so that means she takes another 3 damage. She has only 1 wound. She takes 3 damage. That means that we roll 3 injury dice to see what happens to her. And what happens to her is she is definitely hurt, and she is seriously injured and goes down, stays down. So not yet first blood drawn, but definitely the first hurt. Nina got shot down off this ledge and is seriously injured, and that actually means that Leona is next one to do something. And what Leona does is she moves up to here to see if Nina is fine. No, of course not. She will try to coup de grace her in the next turn, or shoot her again if she gets up, if she's lucky. Next one to try his luck is Slack the Orefinder, and he actually got a situation that just changed. He moves 5 inches and is in range to shoot at Lucerel. Actually in short range for his stub gun and in long range for his autogun, but nevertheless he... Oh no, wait, I forgot about the twin guns blazing rule. He goes in with both guns and shoots at Lucerel. It's like the Orefinder has a ballistic skill of 4+. Because of the twin guns blazing, he needs a 5+ to hit. For the auto pistol that stays a 5+, but for the stub gun, because he is in short range, it is a 3+. So we are shooting first. We are trying to shoot first with the autogun, which has rapid fire, 5+. He manages to do so. 1 hit goes through with the autogun, and also 1 hit, or 1 try with the stub gun is actually a 2+, which means that the stub gun misses. The autogun hits. The autogun hits, has a strength 3 and against toughness 3. That means we need a 4+, which we don't. That means Lucerel is hit and pinned, but not hurt. The matriarch of the Escher gang is pinned, but she didn't get badly hurt. We're back at Escher's side, and Millie climbs this ladder with 5 inches and then moves another 5 inches right over here at this ledge. So she has a nice overview over what is happening down there. And she actually is able to see the elimination target. So we will see what happens next round when she is able to shoot. Next up is John Nighthawk. He also follows his leader into the center of the battlefield with 10 inches movement, double movement. Suki with her plasma gun moves 10 inches, and I think next round we will have a showdown here in the middle where all is happening. Last thing for the Orlocks. The Explorator Agent also moves into the middle. It's starting to get dangerous for the Escher and for him actually. He is starting to be the center of attention. He is near his target and yet still very far from it. And last but not least in this round, Brielle follows her gunner and is in the center of attention as well. We approached the end phase of turn 3 and we're not quite finished yet because the Hunting Hydras are playing one of their gang tactics, which is hit and run. Play this card tactic at the start of the end phase. Choose 3 of your fighters. These fighters may make a free move simple action or a retreat basic action. This means in the area of the final showdown it will get a little more tense. Suki with the plasma gun is moving 5 inches over here, and also Brielle is moving 5 inches over here. The 5th Venom will stay where she is because she is already very near, but this girl will move and she has 7 inches to her disposal. She goes to this ledge and tries to jump down. So she jumps down this 7-inch ledge, 5-inch, sorry. And we will see if she manages to jump or if she will fall, because jumping down is of course prone to failing. She has to take an initiative test of, she has 2+ on her initiative, but a 5-inch jump down has a -2 modifier, so she needs a 4, which she does with the 5. So she manages to safely land down there and pose even more threat. Since we are in the end phase, we are also going to check if Nina Narco succumbs to her wounds or recovers. She actually recovers and takes a flesh wound, but is able to stand up next turn. So Nina is not seriously injured anymore. She can recover and takes a flesh wound, but is able to stand up again. So that's the situation at the end of round 3, and we're changing. We're going to the round 4. We're going to the priority phase, in which the Orlock gang will actually start or play a gang tactics card, and they play Wall of Iron. Until the end phase of this round, any friendly fighter that is in base contact with another 1 or more standing and active friendly Orlock fighters cannot be involuntarily placed prone and pinned voluntarily is possible, but that is a very important play for the explorator agent. If I guess he is able to move to the terminals at the Archeotek Device this round, but if he is placed prone or pinned, he will not be able to do a double action, the double action that is needed to win this game, because if he is pinned, he needs to spend one action to get up again. So key moment to place this card right here and right now. That brings us to the question: which gang has priority in the following turn? Turn 4. I am rolling first for Escher a 3, and I'm rolling for Orlocks a 1. I think that's the first time in this game Orlocks do not have priority, which is actually pretty bad for them. They will get a beating right now, I guess. Let's see if this failed priority loses this Orlocks game. It is a very, very bad situation for them, and the first activation in this round for the Escher goes to Biff Venom. It's exactly her time to shine. It's exactly the situation she was hoping for. She makes a move with her first action just around the corner. So that means we will fetch our template, place it over these fighters, and she is actually able to hit all of these 3. Maybe if she would have moved a little different, she could also get slack the ore finder there in the back, but these 3 are the important ones. She will hit all of them with her gas attack, and this gas attack is actually pretty bad for the Orlocks. We do not roll hits as usual, as we are used to. We simply roll a d6 and compare it to the toughness of the fighter, and if the roll is equal to or higher the toughness of the fighter, we will directly make a wound roll. So no armor saves, no seeing if hit, seeing if wounded, just one single d6. And we will starting with Copper. He has a toughness of 3, and Viv actually manages to hit a 4, which is higher, so Copper is seriously injured. That was the fighter number 1. Then fighter number 2, John Nighthawk, has a toughness of 3 and is equal. The roll is equal to 3, so another wound roll. John Nighthawk is also seriously injured. And for the VIP of the game, what's it for him? He has also toughness 3 and also hit, and he only suffers a flesh wound, so that's interesting for the rest of the girls. So we have 2 seriously injured guys from this roll and 1 flesh wound. So the gas attack goes out. Copper, seriously injured. John, seriously injured. Can't lay on the belly. And Explorator Agent, flesh wound. Let's see if he manages to survive, because that was only 1 of the 3 girls that activated. I forgot if I said it, but this is a group activation with Brielle and her 2 surrounding girls. I think I forgot to say that. So next up is Tsuki. I may have moved her a bit when she tipped over before when I tried to record from a different angle. She was in range for the group activation, I checked that beforehand. And well, it's pretty obvious what she is doing. She is aiming at the Explorator agent and taking her shot, trying to win the game. So here, the showdown. Never know if it is the final showdown. So Suki is firing her plasma gun on the low setting since she just wants to hit this guy. She doesn't want to miss, damage output is secondary, she just wants to hit him. So she is in short range, gets +2 to her ballistic skill of a 4+, and she also aimed, so she can actually only miss if she rolls a 1 with rapid fire. And let's see what the dice say. Ooh, that's bad for him. 3 shots are hitting him, so he is at least pinned. He is strength 3 and the plasma gun has a strength 5, which means that I will try to wound him on a 3+. 3 hits, wounding on 3+, and we have 3 shots that wound. We have a armor penetration of -1, and we will see what the armor says. So the Explorator agent of the Adeptus Mechanicus does not have a flak armor or mesh armor like the rest of these savages. He has a refractor field, so armor penetration actually doesn't even matter. We have 3 hits to save on a 5 to 6. A hit is saved, so the first hit is not saved. The second hit is also not saved, and the third hit is also not saved. Why am I rolling these one at a time? Because after each block you would need to check if the refractor field was still working or not. So 3 hits go through and 2 damage per hit. That means 6 wounds this guy is taking. He has only 1 wound, so we will roll 6 injury dice. He is at least seriously wounded, 1 flesh wound, and he is dead. He is melted by the plasma gun. So this was actually the final showdown. The Explorator agent is slain right in front of his goal, that was to reach, and the Escher gang wins. So start of the 4th turn is actually also the end of the game. The Explorator agent has been slain. Actually, funnily enough, it was also the first blood. Nobody died yet. Orlocks were nearly dead, or near dead. The Eschers had a lot of luck this game. Let's make a very brief or quick debriefing. This was my first time I played all on my own, and maybe it was a little harsh on the Orlocks to have this goal. Maybe they were at a slight disadvantage. Let's take a look at what was maybe problematic for the Orlocks or what could have been better for them. First off, we have this side battle here that was completely irrelevant for the whole battle. One of the strongest Orlock fighters, the Angry Snarl, never got to swing his hammer, not even once in this game, and 3 models were occupied just for one Escher gunner that wasn't even a threat for the rest. So with this side battle drawing a lot of resources, the middle was unprotected or less protected than it could have been. The Nightshade Thrower, the gas attack, that was just the perfect opportunity, a very dangerous position to be in where the Explorator agent had to go, so that was not very nice for him actually. Nino Narco would have had a lot of potential, had a bit of bad luck once with the jump booster that failed when she tried to leap over there. One good positioned demolition charge may have had an impact on the game. So same as these guys, they were distracted by Tori Jr. that ran above them with her sprinting ability. They got distracted and maybe could have been more efficient in gunning down from the distance. So interestingly, we didn't have a lot of casualties, actually only 1. So now you have seen the Archeotek device in action. I hope you liked this battle report. I sure liked making it. I maybe will do other videos like that, but the next video will for sure be another terrain video where I will build another tile to play on.